when we as leaders don't have the courage to be honest with somebody, we're really hurting them,
Yeah.
in the long run.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.
Here's the real question. Now, we talked before that you'd watched or listened to 47 of our episodes, okay? So think back to, let's say, 3 or 4 aha moments from someone that you were able to internalize and then maybe utilize for your team.
So, as I've shared with you before, I love playing little clips. I kind of time stamp them in little clips that I think will be helpful to my team.
Okay.
A quote that I'm using a lot is, "I am paid to be honest with you." I really took that as, we are, as leaders,
Yeah.
we are paid to be honest.
Yeah.
And something that you always say that I really appreciate, it's not personal. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not personal. It's really about the performance. Don't critique the person, critique the performance.
Right.
And that is something for me. I deal with, in marketing, a lot of people who wear the heart on the sleeve. They're creative. They put their heart into what they do. They're staying up all night designing graphics or something like that for our company. And if I give them a critique, or if there's something, I had to give a critique to a G4 yesterday. So I call
what's a
G4,
G4? Okay.
a Generation 4.
Okay.
So the 4th generation is coming into the company, and it's so exciting.
Okay.
And
4th
they're
generation of the
interning-
Carfaro family.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Will Carfaro has 3 sons, and I have one who's interning with me this year. And he is just an incredible individual, and he embodies everything that I've learned from this family. There's one little thing I know his papa, Tony, would want him to do. He wasn't carrying a notepad to the meetings. Now, his memory was really sharp. Maybe he doesn't need one. So I had to call him over, and I had to say, "Listen, I'm loving having you, by the way. He's a perfect fit for us. He really is. I need you to carry a notepad. And I need you to take a few notes, and after the meetings, because I'm going to take you to all kinds of meetings, I'm going to be checking on him just to see what he took out of the meeting versus what I took out of the meeting."
Right.
But that whole, I'm paid to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When we as leaders don't have the courage to be honest with somebody, we're really hurting them.
Yeah.
In the long run. And I think, you've talked so much about the selflessness and the service and the humility that it takes to really lead. And I think what your podcast really too has done for me is, there's a lot of things I need to improve on as a leader. There's a lot of things I could do better. I'm lucky enough to work for a company that when I can do better, they let me know so.
Yeah.
Esther, you got to delegate a little bit more.
Right.
Or, different things. Esther, hey, we like your work, but you got to work a little faster. You got to produce those things a little faster. The family's very honest with me. And I have to, share that honesty as well. So.
Coach Dilfer said, and I do recall that I'm paid to be honest with you. And as I thought about that when we were in conversation, I thought of it more as, I owe that to you,
Right.
to be honest with you, because it's a little harder. The easy thing is, oh, Esther, you're wonderful. But
that's the easy thing.
That's the easy thing. But the hard thing is, hey, Esther, we could do this a little bit better. And you've told me how good you want to be.
Yeah.
And you know how good we collectively want to be. And that's something, we were just in a workforce education meeting in the Valley here earlier today. And we were talking about the long play of having a workforce development that we're going to need for generations, and being willing to set that standard, being willing to have those high expectations. People ask me all the time when I was up in my years in coaching, they would always say, have the players changed since you began 40 years ago or whatever? And I'd always think about that, and I'd answer, no, I don't think the players have changed. The parents have changed a little.
Yes.
They're a little
Heard you
more.
say that.
They're a little more
Involved.
But the players still want to know, what do you expect from me?
Mm-hmm.
They want to be evaluated if they really want to be good,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to be sugar-coated because they have high goals.
Absolutely.
And that's why we owe the truth.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.